intro.
I am planning to do. Okay, I think we should be live. Okay, hold on. I'm
Okay.
trying to adjust everything so it looks fine.
Yeah.
Let me check and make sure that it's all up right now. Oh my god. My screen is like freaking out. Okay, but we're up. Oh god. Am I like normal on your screen?
Yeah. On
Uh,
on my Discord, you're normal. Yeah.
okay, let me just. There we go, I'm back. It was not normal on mine. Okay. So let me just
Yeah.
send out a post saying that we are up and
We are
live.
live.
We are live. Indeed, we are.
What's up?
This is yeah, first episode. Huzzah, huzzah.
Probably going to do not disturb mode.
I
Discord.
forgot to do that. I'm gonna go do that really quick. I'm trying to do everything like just before this. Okay, here we go.
Ooh boy.
Do not disturb. There we go. We're up. We're going.
We're up. We're going.
My second screen of my own personal phone. There we go. So I can either watch chat or see if anyone joins. But so we are talking about teams that we're expecting to be better than expected, worse than expected. Kind of just going. We each have two teams picked out in mind that we're gonna talk about, and from there we'll see who we end up selecting, everything like that.
Yep.
I guess I could start by saying what team I think is going to be there. Let me just pull up my notes on this real quick because I have some
Yeah. The
prepared.
depth charts.
Yeah,
I
since
know the depth charts from my mind. I'm just trying to have them up for
I have
reference. If
I have a few players memorized. I don't have everything memorized, so I will probably be looking some stuff up while we're going because I couldn't tell you who some of the players and some of the teams we're talking about today are, but I know like most of the important ones. So, uh, the first team I was going
yeah.
to talk about, which is a team that I'm expecting to be worse than people are anticipating and worse than people are expecting, are the Cincinnati Bengals. I think people are like putting faith in the Bengals with like a Joe Burrow bounce back season with like him and Chase and Higgins making like magic happen again, but I just don't know if I see that happening. I
Mhm.
I think that when you build your team so top heavy that you have too much money invested in it. What I think they have like a fourth of their total cap space in just those three players. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's like a fourth of their total cap space is just in those. Maybe it's a third.
It's a very significant amount, regardless.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
bad.
nothing to
It's nothing to like
scoff
scoff
at.
at. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, my main problem with the Bengals is that even if you were to do this kind of thing where you put so much in like one part, like in a few players, at least make it like it's all on offense for them. It's all offensive like skill position players in the quarterback. It's not the offensive line. It's not anything on the defense.
They should be
Like
paying Trey Hendrickson, but they just
they
are
should be
refusing to
paying
do
Trey
that. They should be paying Shamar Stewart.
or Stewart.
I'm
Yeah,
higher on
who
Shamar Stewart than most people. I think he's going to be a good player. Just why are they not paying their fucking rookie guaranteed
it
money?
it it's also a thing for me of like Shamar Stewart. Even if you're high on him, he was always and he is a developmental player. He's not gonna come out the gate and be this standout edge rusher for you to dominate with. He's gonna have to develop, and I don't trust this organization to do that at all. I really just don't.
If they had
I
paid Trey Hendrickson, because you know who Shamar Stewart played opposite of in college for his final year was Nick Scorton, and
mm,
Scorton and Hendrickson are like very similar styles of play. So
mhm.
if they ever plan on paying these two guys, I think it would be a great edge duo, and then it would be a really good aspect of this team, uh, which
But a better cat team got Scorton, so it's
yeah,
fine.
that's true. That's
Perfect.
true.
uh,
So yeah, I don't like their roster building being like so top heavy, and like what happens if one of them gets injured? Like they got fourth place 2 years ago because Joe Burrow got hurt, and behind that offensive line, it's only a matter of time before he gets hurt again. Like it's going to happen.
yeah, it's very wobbly, and I don't trust this organization uh, to do it well. I don't trust this Bengals organization to be able to execute this well.
Yeah, and their head coach is still Zach Taylor, who I have basically zero faith in. Most Bengals fans have zero faith in Zach Taylor. I mean, it's rough.
Yeah,
It's rough goings. I think that we could see if the Browns didn't exist and the Browns were in the spot they were in right now, I would say they'd probably be fourth in that division. As it is, they have basically guaranteed third place, but I don't think
do
they're
I
going to do
have
any better than that. I'm not high on the Steelers either, but like that is the most 9-8 roster. That's the most 9-8 Steelers roster since last season. So
yeah.
hold on. I want to see one more. Yeah, there was one more thing that I also didn't like. There was plenty more than that, but I'm trying to keep the segments like a little bit, maybe not as fast, but you know. I
Yeah.
also don't think that they have a run game. Like, they don't have an
Chase
offensive line. I don't know if Chase Brown is that good of a running back.
Taj Brooks is the only guy they drafted. Do I
Yeah,
have a bit of an echo?
maybe.
Someone in chat said I have a bit of an echo.
I wasn't really hearing it. Maybe though. But I'm not like that huge on Chase Brown. I do really like Taj Brooks though. I will say.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
I do
quite
have
high on
an
him coming
echo.
out of college. Unfortunately, he does not have an offensive line to run behind, so there's only so good he's gonna do. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I think the Bengals are going to do any good. If I had to give a maximum win projection, I would say 7 maximum wins is what I think. That's what I think. If Joe Burrow gets hurt or Jamar Chase gets hurt, it's
Yeah.
going down.
I think I do have an echo from what I'm hearing.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Um.
I'm not hearing it on my end, so that's odd.
Yeah, I have it on the stream. I'm hearing it on the stream.
Okay, that might be something with me then. Uh, is it like really noticeable?
Yes.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah. We'll fix that. Do you want to fix that, and I'll talk about my team so you can the team I have so you can like hear me and fix it in real time?
Yeah.
Okay. This will be unusable for anything outside of this, but it'll be funny.
Desktop audio, window capture.
um. So I have a bit of a controversial one to say that it'll be I'm not saying this team will be bad. I'm saying that this team
Is it
will
good? Right?
have
Is it good now? Just let me know.
let me listen in. Hang on. It's it, okay, yes, it's better now.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. I just had to turn down my
Uh,
desktop audio. Oh gosh,
okay.
I gotta turn my camera off and back on.
Okay.
There we go.
Hello. So mine is the Chicago Bears will not be as good as people projected them to be this next year. They have made some good additions to their team. Joe Tooney is a really good addition. I think Drew Dahlman will be good at center. I think Grady Jarrett is an addition that you can be happy about.
I really
at
like Grady
D-tackle.
Jarrett. I think that one was a
Yeah.
good.
I don't think it's enough to make me say that I like this team enough to where I think they'll have more than 7 wins in this season. They're in a really difficult division in the NFC North where I've seen some people say the Vikings are not going to be as good as they were last year. I get not saying they're not going to have 14 wins. Obviously, they're probably not. That's insane to say they're going to repeat that. But
Oh dang, we still
the
got
fact-
echo going on. Hold on.
we still got echo? Okay.
Is it because? Wait, can you talk a little bit right now?
I can't talk a little bit.
Okay, go now.
I can't talk at all. I need to like hear it on the stream later, and it's a bit behind for
Yeah,
me. So.
I think I should have gotten it fixed because I think I just had to. Yeah. Okay. I think it should be good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Okay, cool. There was apparently I had behind the main window capture that I have going on right now.
Yeah.
There was a second window that had exactly my screen captured. So it was capturing your voice twice, but the video once.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, OBS.
Thanks, OBS. It's so cool. The problem I have with the Bears is that I really don't think they did that good in the draft. Colston Loveland. I know you're not high on Colston Loveland, like really at all.
Wait, can you turn off your video
I
really quickly?
saw
It's like
him-
really choppy on my screen. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
get the technical
yeah.
issue sorted out.
Yeah, we're trying to get this sorted out, guys. It's the
No,
first
turn
time
the camera back
trying
on.
this out.
Pull that up.
Hello.
No, it's still really choppy.
Okay.
I wish I could figure out.
My
I'm
video-
gonna watch on here, see if it's choppy on like the capture.
It doesn't look choppy on the stream. That choppy on the stream.
Okay.
It looks kind of fine.
Okay, so I guess
Uh,
it's just me then. Cool.
Yeah. So I get you're not as high on Colston Loveland as most people. I saw him as like a late first round pick, like a late first round talent.
I had him at like mid second, which is lower than a lot of people did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Like still
My main issue is that I do think Tyler Warren would just have been a better fit for this offense.
Yeah, no,
I
I
think-
absolutely agree.
I think, obviously biased, but Amari and Hampton would have been really good in that position. I think they needed a run game in general, and I don't think that
You know who
DeAndre Swift's going to be good enough for them.
You know who really fits a Ben Johnson offense that was in this draft? Travion Henderson.
He really fucking does. Oh my
Like
God.
I would if I was Ben Johnson, I would say I don't care what the media says. I don't think Travion Henderson is going to be there for me in round 2 when we pick in round 2 at 39 because there's a lot of teams that want a running back and there's
Yeah.
so they're probably going to take they're going to take Amari and Hampton. They're gonna take Keyshawn Judkins and they're gonna take Travion Henderson because there's a lot of teams I could see doing it. If you wanted to wait, maybe trade down or trade back up. Instead, they didn't do either of that, and I
They
think
had 2 second-round picks. It would have been easy to trade back up, but no. I will say Travion Henderson went at pick 38 to the Patriots.
One pick,
and
yeah,
the very
one
next
pick
pick
before them.
was Luther Burden.
I do think Luther Burden actually works well in a Ben Johnson
I get
offense.
it. I get it. I very much get it. It's kind of the Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of like trying to be that kind of role. I do worry about Burden because I feel like if without the off the field stuff, he would have been a first round pick. I That worries me, but it's not enough to where I'm gonna bash the pick and say it's awful. Obviously, they're NFL GMs, they're NFL head coaches. They know
Yeah.
what they're doing more than some stupid 22-year-old.
Yeah.
The offensive line isn't very like I said Tooney and Dahlman were good pickups.
Jonah
I
Jackson was
neglected
not a
to
good
mention,
addition.
yeah, Jonah Jackson. He was gonna be let go out of LA
I
anyway. He
like
was
LA
like
didn't even
injury
have that
prone.
good of a line last year, so
Yeah,
like
LA was gonna let him go, and they traded for him, which really made me question this front office decision making.
what I don't
I
get, like I know there wasn't any good tackles on the free agency market, and a lot of the good ones were taken before they even got a chance to pick.
mhm.
I'm not huge on Ozzy Trapilo, and I don't think any of the other tackles they have on that roster exactly inspire confidence in the fact.
Right now, it's Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright as their starting tackles.
Give me the
I think,
cyanide pill.
yeah, I
Like,
think, I think if somehow Joe Tooney kind of mentors Trapilo, I know that's kind of weird given it's a guard mentoring a tackle, but he's such a veteran, he's such a longtime veteran that I
yeah.
think
My
he would
problem with
be.
that is that we saw Tooney play tackle last year, and it wasn't very good. I
Yeah,
love Joe
it
Tooney,
was
but
not
his
good.
tackle tape was
It was
pretty
not
bad.
good. It was a reason why they
There's a
got
reason why he's a
destroyed.
guard. Yeah.
Yes, there's a reason, but it's a more veteran presence than what I'm talking about, more than exactly
Mm.
teaching. Like the coaching staff, I hope would be able to teach that, but obviously, maybe not.
I want to see what tackles
Um,
were on the board at that point. I know was Connerly the last one taken at 39 before 39.
uh,
Yeah,
Savanaia was taken at 37
he was
too.
listed as a guard.
He was listed as a guard, but I think he could eventually. The only guy that you would take there if you had stuck at 41 would be Ursary.
Honestly, I would have taken Ursary. I think they should have gone Ursary.
Yeah,
And I'm not
they
just saying
traded
that
him.
because I want to cuck the Texans out of having a tackle. I'm.
So we're covering two teams in a row who drafted a Texas A&M D lineman and then neglected to draft a running back until very late in the draft.
Hold on. There is a difference. Shamar Stewart is much better of a player than
And
Shamar
Shamar
Turner.
Turner.
I don't know
Yeah.
why are you picking Shamar Turner in the second round, Bears? Why are we
I
doing
don't know.
this?
There were a lot of good players there. Like
Oh my
being
god.
real, Omar Norman Lott, like just as like a 3-down guy would have been much better for them, I think.
Yeah, I think Grady Jarrett would have helped Omar Norman Lott be a better player than I think Shamar Turner ever would be. I I really don't like that pick for them. I didn't like the Trapilo pick either. I've already said I didn't like the Loveland pick. Um, Deo Ogunjobi from free agency. Did they trade for him or is he a free agent?
He Was he a free? I think he was a free agent. I don't remember exactly.
I don't know if that's enough help on the D line for me to say that, yeah, reaching on Shamar Turner was a good idea when you had some other edges on the board that I think would have been better picks, like some other like edges, not because I know Turner is a
Yeah, he
is a
got
tackle, but like other edges you could have put on the outside or
Deo.
better
Yeah,
tackles too. I just
Deo
don't.
got a 3-year, $48 million contract, which...
This was a deep D-line class. I'm surprised that
Yeah.
for a team that needed D-line going into it, they decided to address it in free agency. And I like the Grady Jarrett pickup.
I forgot that Darius Alexander was also on the board when they picked Shamar Park, who would have been great for them, I think.
And also also the real dual threat from the draft, JJ Pegues. Is that how you pronounce his name? my beloved tackle fullback combo.
Fullback. Cameron Williams. Okay, I saw Eddie said in Cameron Williams in chat. Cameron Williams, very developmental and kind of played himself out of the first round in the latter half of the college football season.
I wasn't super huge on him, honestly, going in.
I think he got taken in the 5th round by somebody.
I thought it was the 3rd. I thought I went in the 3rd.
Don't
might be crazy.
I'm looking. Yeah. So I just think that a lot of their drafting wasn't as good as people think it was, and yeah. Okay, who's your good team?
One good team.
Yes, we're gonna.
Yeah, let's move into some positivity.
Hang on, let me look up really quick. Cameron Williams. He got selected by the Eagles in the 6th round. So like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll pan out because he's going to the Eagles. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think the Bears would have done all of them. Okay.
No, I don't either. So the first team I picked that I thought would be better than consensus is the team in the thumbnail, the Falcons. I think that the Falcons are actually in a really good spot right now. Their absolute top need to address in this season was their pass rush, and they did that twice in the first round with both players that I really like. Jalen Walker I had as a top 5 player that they got at pick 15, and JPJ, who was like I think my 3rd edge in the draft. So like there was some they really added to the pass rush that they needed to add to, and then they said, you know how we only have like 2 players in the secondary in AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates? What if we added another safety and then we added a nickel corner there? Because they don't have as many linebackers. They have Divine Diablo and they have Jalen Walker now, but I don't know if they really have a 3rd linebacker. So the way they built their team tells me that I think they're going to be doing a lot of nickel formations.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of nickel formations. I love nickel.
Yeah.
And Malachi Moore, I believe, is their nickel corner, and Xavier Watts is their free safety. Jesse Bates is their strong safety, and AJ Terrell is.
They drafted Billy Bowman.
Billy Bowman, I got him confused.
Oh yeah, you're confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, with
Malachi Moore. Yeah.
I don't remember where Malachi Moore went to, but yeah.
Yeah.
I got the name wrong in the notes by accident when I was looking at I was looking at the rosters and I still got it wrong. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that defense alone went from like a bottom tier unit and just upgraded in like every facet. Against the pass rush, against the run game, they got better. They already I don't want to throw against that secondary. That is like a very, very hard secondary to throw against.
And that terrifies me as a Panthers fan, the defense. I have a bit of confidence that we will be able to. Oh yeah, the only real Mike is Jalen Walker. That's true.
Yeah, no, Jalen Walker is an absolutely amazing Mike to have, though.
Yeah, that is a great one. The run defense, because JPJ is a designated pass rusher.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
was always his thing. Jalen Walker can develop run defense.
I think he has it pretty well, actually.
When
I was watching some of his film, I was like, damn, why are people not talking about his ability to run defend
Yeah,
as much? Like, this is
yeah.
some good
He
shit
he can
here.
do it. It's like you don't want him carrying the run defense, And I
I
think
do like
so.
Divine Diablo in that aspect as well, and they
Yeah,
went out and they got him. So like, I'm sold on that linebacker core.
yeah. My issue goes back to last year with them. I think you might know where I'm going with this, where they drafted Ruka Rororo over Johnny Newton. I think
Yeah,
I think if
and
they
they
had
don't.
Johnny Newton,
Yeah,
I think it would have been this would be like an
and they
awesome
don't.
deal.
They don't have Grady Jarrett there anymore, so the
Yeah,
interior
Grady
needs a
Jarrett.
lot of
Yeah,
work. I think
that's
that it's kind of
yeah.
funny that this draft was so good for interior D line, and they didn't address it at all when they had just got when their best piece of that just left. Um, truthfully,
Oh
I
yeah, Leonard Floyd's there now.
oh shit, Leonard Floyd's there now. That's right.
Yes. Thank you, Casual. That's right.
Okay.
That's crazy.
I forgot
That's
about that.
I like that. I really
Okay.
like that actually.
Yeah, good catch, good catch. This is why we do it live. This is why we have viewer interaction. Thank you,
Yeah.
JJ. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Troy Anderson and
Leonard
Kate
Floyd
Ellis
is
are also yeah.
Leonard Floyd is a very, very good player. But not
Yeah.
just like defensively. I love Michael Penix. I think he's going to be such a good quarterback.
I think I think that offense is
I
gonna
think
work.
Drake London is my
I,
number 10 receiver in the league. Bijan is a top 3 running back, and I don't think he's number 3. um,
yeah,
and
I would assume too, because you're not gonna put
yeah, I'm not putting him
Saquon.
over Saquon.
Yeah.
And then on the O line, I also really like Chris Lindstrom
Who's
and
that?
Jake Matthews. I
Chris
love
Lindstrom,
those
yes.
two.
Chris Lindstrom's really fucking good.
Yeah, I also like
My
Jake Matthews on the line, so I think they
my
could add a
issue,
bit more to the O line there.
my issues are also who is Kyle Pitts? Like you need to.
Future Jaguar Kyle Pitts.
Do you want that? Do you want that?
No, he's actually had a few trade rumors going around right now to the
Yeah,
Steelers, Jags, and Seahawks. Was it?
I I would be surprised if it was the Seahawks, given they just drafted Elijah Arroyo.
Yeah. Who was it? Actually, let me go take a look here. I know that there was.
I know the Steelers have had a lot of tight end, which I hope they don't because I drafted Fryermuth in fantasy.
Yeah.
No, and they're the one they're rumoring for is Jonnu Smith, and I also have Jonnu Smith. Just hoping they would like fucking dump and take it with him because he's not, that offense is not going to be in Miami. It's not going to be great, in my opinion. But that's for later. Spoiler
Chargers.
alert.
It was the Chargers.
Oh, it was the Chargers. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
They do
it
it
makes
better.
sense. I like Aronde Gadsden, but he is probably the most raw tight end prospect coming out of the draft. He was like my tight end 4,
Actually,
so I was
that
very
might
very high on him.
that might be Ferguson, the most raw tight end. Ferguson does have some stuff
Well,
already. I will
Gadsden, I believe Gadsden was a receiver converted to tight end.
yeah. Um,
So,
my other issue is wide receiver depth. I
hey,
do
in
like
this house, we stand for the Falcons receiver depth. We love Ray McLeod, and
I love Ray McLeod so much. He's so funny.
we're also
Like I just
forgetting. I
Darnell
forgot.
Mooney's
Yeah, I also really like Darnell Mooney. I think that they have like a pretty good core of skill position players. Tyler Algier is
especially
probably one of the better backup running backs in the league.
yeah, to the point where people were confused when they drafted
When they drafted
uh
Bijan,
Bijan. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
ultimately, I think that was still the right call because Bijan is Bijan.
Mhm.
But
Do you want to move on?
sure, yeah, I really like the Falcons. I really like where they're going. So they were a team that I wanted to talk about here.
Yeah. Uh, I've got a team, also in the thumbnail. The Las Vegas Raiders, formerly of Oakland fame and formerly of Los Angeles fame, and then
Yeah.
formerly of Oakland fame again. Uh, um, I really, really, really like this draft. This draft, the Raiders draft, and the other team I'll be talking about as good are my two favorite drafts, and there's no one really close for me.
Yeah,
I
the
think they
Raiders draft was so good. I mean, they got Ashton
played it.
Jeanty. I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
alone
Ashton
is
Jeanty, which like has been beaten to death, but that's
yeah.
such a good pick. It's insane. It's insane how good of a pick that is for them. Um, you
Hey, don't
get
forget they finally moved JPJ to center.
Yeah, they moved JPJ to center where he belongs and hopefully will do well.
He's gonna do well.
Uh, they had
He
they
doesn't
got
follow me on Twitter anymore. This is so sad.
oh, that's sad. That's
Yeah.
sad. They Jack Bash, who that's
Oh
like
yeah.
the dream fit for Jack Bash.
I
Like
think
that
every
is
single like second round mock I had Jack Besh going
you
to
had
the
Jack Bash.
Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's perfect. Like why would you not have that, you know? It makes so much sense. Third round they got uh Caleb Brock. They had two back-to-back picks in the later half of the round, or in the later, like really late in the round. They got Caleb Rogers, who was a guard that I wasn't really familiar with,
I wasn't familiar with him either.
but I went back and watched him.
Hmm.
I really like him.
Yeah, no,
Charles,
when I went back and watched him, I was like, wait, how is this guy not talked about a little bit more? Because
yeah,
this is
yeah,
like a sleeper
this
pick
guy's
in this
good.
draft. Like this guy's good.
And then Charles Grant, who out of William and Mary, which uh, will represent Williamsburg, Virginia. Uh,
I
he
love Charles Grant too. I was
he's
very
such
high
a
on
good
him.
tackle prospect for them. I hope this offensive line is going to be better this year.
It's
For
gotta be.
Ashton
There's
Jeanty's sake
I
and for
think
Geno Smith.
yeah, absolutely. I think,
Um,
and one thing to note is that with Geno Smith, you want to have a good interior line, and I
mhm.
think what they did, they already moved JPJ there. I know Bengals fans don't like Alex Kappa. I
He was not good last year, but I
he's
mean,
been like
he's
fine in the
been
past.
better
He's had
before.
good
Yeah.
seasons, and I'm not gonna blame him for the Bengals being bad
This
last year.
and this will happen to O linemen where they just have like a really bad season, like any
Yeah.
season under Frank Reich, where every offensive
Mhm.
lineman just forgets to play football. Um,
So I like Alex Kappa there. I like JPJ at center. Obviously, I just gassed him
Dylan
up.
Parham's intriguing. Yeah.
So I
Charles
like the pieces
Grant.
they have.
The thing with Charles Grant is that I think he can develop really well, and I know
Mhm.
he won't be out there right now because obviously he won't, but
Yeah.
he will be out there eventually, and I think it'll be really good for them. Dante Thornton, I think, is a really good piece for them to have out there. Darian Porter.
I
If
love
if I had
Darian Porter. I love
if
Darian
I had
Porter.
any worry about this team, it's the secondary. That
Yeah,
secondary
same.
scares me for them
I
in
that's why
in
like
the way that like it's not good.
their secondary is my biggest concern too. Also, I know they have Max Crosby on the D line. How much other like pieces do they have on the D line
You have to
though?
hope that Christian Wilkins is healthier and better next year. You have to hope that one of Malcolm Kuntz or Tyree Wilson actually plays well. They do have JJ Pegues on the as a D tackle, so they're going to be elite.
Oh,
Um,
true. You're right.
Anka Hemingway, they drafted at D tackle. Sure, I sure. Um, they
I
did. They didn't trade, but they signed Eric Stokes, and then Nate Hobbs went to the Packers, so it's just a switch essentially. Um,
yeah.
that's a downgrade. That's
So,
obviously a downgrade. There's a reason the Packers didn't re-sign Eric Stokes. and
Ooh,
it's not
shit,
because
flip it
he would have
over.
cost them too much money.
I'm
Or
trying
he
to
probably
like
would have.
brighten this up. Where's the? Hold on, I'm in some comfortable pants. You're seeing my amazing.
Yeah.
Where is my stupid toggler for the light? There it is. I need to just brighten it just like one tick. There we go. It's out of the way, but I found it.
Okay.
My apologies.
So yeah, I think this Raiders team can be really good. And I think one of the main steps they need to take for the future is after Pete Carroll's gone, because obviously Pete Carroll's not going to be there very long because he's fucking ancient. You have to find your coach of the future, and I think that'll be much better if you have that and you're able to get a good quarterback in the future. Because
Yeah.
with have to like
Ooh.
be very concerned about getting a quarterback. You can wait a little bit and be like, hey, we have Geno Smith. We can see what our options are this year.
Hey, we have
don't
Geno
have any-
Smith. We don't have to draft.
Yeah.
We don't have to
don't
draft
have to
Shador
draft-
Sanders.
We don't have to draft fucking Garrett Nussmeier or Sam Leavitt
Or Drew Aller. Hey,
Or Drew
I won't stand. I won't stand for Sam Leavitt slander.
I said we like Sam Leavitt. I'm saying, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm done with the Raiders. If you want to get to your next team,
Oh no,
who
the
I know
Raiders.
we'll have a lot of conversation about because I know what team this is.
Okay. My next team. This is a pick for a team that I don't think is going to be very good next year. A team that I'm not very high on. I got the 49ers.
Yep.
So they have an easy schedule based on like 2024 records, but like easy schedules don't stay easy all the time, and the hard schedules don't stay hard all the time. And like they lost like 11 players in free agency, and they were like good players.
Yeah.
So yeah. I like Brock Purdy. I will say I think Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. I don't trust that receiver core. Honestly, if you're asking me, I don't know if Juan Jennings can be what he was like all season. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't trust him.
The main thing for me that is an improvement on this team is that Brandon Staley is no longer employed by this team.
Yeah.
he is how do I say this without breaking TOS? He is the antichrist of run defense. In terms of he can't do that. He can't do it. He just can't do it.
Okay,
and I don't know why.
Okay, let me call cover 3.
They hired him as DC, and I don't know why.
Okay, let me call cover 3.
Yeah, call cover 3. Call cover 3.
Like, it's first and 10.
Yeah.
You know what coverage you're calling.
3, baby.
Yeah, give me cover 3.
My main the receiving core. How much do we really know about Ricky Pearsall? Like,
yeah,
I don't think he'll be bad. Like I don't think he'll be awful. Like I hope
they do have Brandon Ayuk, but for how much longer?
And is he even cleared for this season? I don't remember.
I think he was recently cleared for the season.
Yeah, but it's very the thing also is that it's very like shaky on if he's actually gonna stay healthy the entire time.
Yeah.
See ya, bye, casual. Bye.
Peace.
Peace. The thing with the Niners for me is also their defense is so young. it can also obviously get into something great.
I
Like
do I do really like Alfred Collins. That was a really
Alfred
good
Collins
selection for
is
them.
big.
I don't know,
Um,
but I don't. This is gonna sound blasphemous because I like Shamar Stewart so much, but I'm not sold on Michael Williams.
it, it
I
it
yeah.
feels it feels early. Okay, Eddie. I just saw that. We know Ricky can catch bullets. Okay, I get it. Okay, that's funny. The also that offensive line is just like
It's desolate. They have
so
Trent
it's
Williams.
so it's
They have
so
everybody
concerning.
else.
Dominic Puny is good, but like it's gonna be him and Trent Williams, and then like three guys who uh, were born yesterday and don't know how to play, and are born in like
They
Mongolia and don't know how to play football.
they didn't draft any
Not anything
linemen
against
either.
Mongolian. I love
They
Mongolians,
didn't draft any
but
offensive linemen either. If I'm
yeah,
like until
until like the
late.
seventh round.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sixth or seventh round. We were watching the draft, and we were every pick. It was for the Niners. It was like, is this going to be an offensive lineman?
It was
There's a couple good ones still on the board. There's a couple
like
good ones still on the
Michael
board.
Williams. Hey, that's an understandable
That's
pick because they
fine.
just
I mean,
lost
like
everything.
you get to pick defensive or offensive line. That makes sense.
Sure, sure. Oh, Alfred Collins. I love Alfred Collins. I think that's a good
That's a good
pick.
pick.
And then who do they
Who's
get
the first?
next?
Nick Martin, the linebacker at Oklahoma State, who I did not know and I watched, and I don't really like that much.
Yeah, that one I
That
was.
was a huge reach.
I remember.
I
I remember like that run on linebackers. It was like there's so much other
There's a
talent
bunch
on
of
the board.
random guys too.
Like
Yeah.
Miles Frazier was still on the board, and
The
they
thing
didn't
is
take
too,
him.
like linebackers like Pooh Paul didn't go off the board for a long time. Like he went in the sixth round and a bunch of teams
Yeah.
passed on. And he was a then they went Upton Stout with their like compensatory pick in this third. Then
Yeah, I think Upton Stout was like one of the last. I think it was like last two picks in the third is when he went.
yeah, then CJ West in the fourth.
Which I like
Uh,
C.J. West, but you already took Alfred Collins.
then their first offensive player was Jordan Watkins, receiver at the very end of the fourth,
Mm.
last pick of the fourth. Which like there were still good players on the board. I then
Yeah,
Jordan James in the fifth.
it's fine.
Fine. If you're concerned about CMC, that's a good Shanahan back. That's fine.
I did like Jordan James out of Oregon.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the concern for everything else on this roster is weighing heavy on that. Curtis
Yeah,
Rourke in seventh, fine,
like I get it.
fine. Curtis Rourke's fine, like in the seventh. I don't hate that. It's just that you didn't draft an offensive line until or offensive lineman until your second to last pick at pick 249 at Connor Colby out of Iowa. Which like if you're gonna take a swing at a offensive lineman
Yeah,
in the late round, make it from Iowa.
yeah. No, that's like fine. The Niners are usually a team that can get talent down the board, but I feel like at some
If you
point
don't
you
take
do have to just say
yeah,
Miles Frazier is here for us. Teams aren't
Garrett
picking him.
Blueberry, he's not like top good, but he was still
Yeah.
there. Like
Dylan
and then
Fairchild, like you
yeah,
had options.
who else was there? Jack
Uh,
Nelson,
Jalen
Wisconsin.
Travis.
Chase Lunt was there for a long time, and Cameron
Oh yeah.
Williams. Like Cameron Williams would have been a good pick because they could have developed him behind Trent Williams. But no, they didn't
Exactly.
do that. They didn't do that. They didn't do that, and it's beyond me.
Shit, Jake
Yeah,
Majors would have been like fine.
yeah. Jake Majors went undrafted. Like, take him. He would have been a a mind guy. This is a pair of pliers. I don't know why I have it.
I not I was I like their second round pick of Alfred Collins, and I did not like the rest of their draft that much. If Michael Williams pans out, that's good. I'm never rooting against a prospect, obviously, but like,
For the most part, there's like one or two guys ever that I'll root against, but
yeah. But like, man, I
I
don't know if
cannot.
I can like the difference between him and Shamar for me is that like Shamar had a 10 RAS, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so rare, and he's just you watch him and you just see this freak athlete that you're like, if you just moved your hips right,
Yeah.
you're putting together like a 17 sack season of just barreling through every lineman.
Miles Murphy must have said Black Lives Matter or something. So fucking true.
True.
Dude, Black Lives do matter. Let's say that. Black Lives Matter.
Black lives do matter. That's true. I do agree with that.
We love you, black people.
So man,
Uh,
I just not not a fan of anything that the Niners did though.
yeah.
Like
No.
you lost a bunch of players. I understand it. Like we all knew it was coming. This is gonna happen to the Eagles in like 2029, 2030, and we're gonna be like, oh man, the Eagles are gonna be a not as good team as we're expecting. Like
Mhm.
5 years from now. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
So we knew this
Um,
was coming for them, and they decided to pay Brock Purdy, which I completely agree with. I think Brock Purdy is like my 11th favorite QB in the league right now, which is like borderline top 10. So
yeah. And yeah. Anything else you want to note on the Niners?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Um, Mine, I kind of spoiled this earlier. The Miami Dolphins. For a team that's going to be worse than thought. Kenneth Grant, really good pick. Really good pick. Shows that this team is willing to
Willing to go physical.
actually go physical. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not all about speed. Really,
Jonas
it's
Aviine is another example of that. I like
yeah.
the first two
Those are
picks.
those are good picks, but this team is so depleted at corner to where Storm Duck is starting.
Storm Deck is their
Jalen
top starter.
Jalen Ramsey's gone essentially, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he's gonna
Uh,
probably end up in LA.
LA. Cater Kohu is their nickel right now. Probably going to start at outside corner if
Yeah.
when Jalen Ramsey's gone. Um, I think their best free agency pickup was. It's weird because I think they're no James Daniels. James Daniels is really good. I was gonna say Ryan Stonehouse or Zach Wilson as like their best free agency pickups, but James Daniels is really good. And they also got Nick Westbrook-Akine, who was a was a touchdown magnet last year for the Titans.
Can I say
Just
something
because
very
how that offense run.
controversial?
Go ahead.
I don't think Tyreek Hill is a good receiver anymore.
No, he's not.
I don't think he was ever like as good as people said. Even when he was like nearing that 2,000 yard season, I was not a fan of his game. I'm not a fan of him in general either, but to me, Tyreek Hill has never been a very technically good receiver. He's been fast, and that's pretty much it. So his stats get inflated because they're putting actual corners on Jalen Waddle, who's like their actual good receiver, and he's basically dusting like second corners because they're putting like 4 or 6 guys up against Tyreek Hill. Of course, he's gonna have a lot of yards. They don't see him as an actual threat, so he's gonna gash them. But he's like the only person that like consistently got open, and it was purely
Yeah.
off of speed. He's not a technically good receiver. And now that he's losing speed and he's losing pretty much everything that like he could rely on, and he doesn't have any of the technical skills that help old receivers be good. It doesn't look good anymore. Like he just
Yeah.
his stuff last season was pretty bad outside of the Jag secondary shut him down until like 2 of their players got injured in the Dolphins game, and he magically busted open for like an 80-yard touchdown. It's like, congratulations, you beat a cornerback who took their first snap in the NFL. Like, am I supposed to be impressed with that 80-yard touchdown?
Speed is a lot of being a receiver, but it's also the fact that he just got these matchups that were so favorable to him a lot of the time, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to
wanted
argue prime Tyreek Hill was a good receiver. Not a very good technical receiver, but prime Tyreek Hill was a very fast, very good target. He's the reason the Chiefs' offense was so electric back, like, 4 years ago now, I think. It's been a while.
A few years ago, yeah. I did want to touch on Asante Samuel being brought up in the chat. There's quite a few teams that could use him. I'm thinking of the Saints. I'm thinking of the Raiders, again.
Yeah.
Dolphins and Cardinals, as said in chat. I don't think the Dolphins will get him just because the cap is so bad.
You know, I also don't get why they didn't try to re-sign Javon Holland.
I don't either, but
he was like the best free agent in this. Fucking franchise tag him, like shit.
Yeah. The other thing for me as well with the Dolphins is Tua.
I was about to bring up Tua. Tua turned the ball over.
Yeah, I did hear that about Samuel. If that's true, that sucks. That really sucks. The nerve and neck issues. That really sucks. He is such a good player. And so young too, but
I mean, if he takes a year off and then comes back, I mean, there's always a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, someone could give him like a 2-year deal.
For Tua, it's like, even if he stays healthy, what are you getting? Like an average quarterback? You're not getting like anything special.
There's the system quarterback gets thrown around a lot, and he is a system quarterback, but the system also needs him, right? The system is built around Tua to the point where you can't just put another guy really in there unless it's... Because you're not going to just get a guy that's better than what Tua is. Even if I'm not as high on Tua, he's still a decent quarterback, probably top 20.
I'd say like 18 feels fair for him.
Yeah.
Like right around there.
Yeah. It's a point where you worry about his health, most obviously. Like, that is the number one thing.
Yeah. You think like head re-injuries, brain re-injuries are more and more likely every time it happens. So like, I genuinely don't think he can play a full season. I don't think he should play at all. I think he should I think he should medically retire.
I said this to everyone I knew when he came back. He is so stupid for not getting the Guardian cap. I don't care if it makes you look stupid or something like that. Fucking wear it. It's your fucking life. I don't give a fuck.
If I was a coach, I'd say you're not seeing that field unless you put that on.
Force him to. I don't care. If you care this much about Tua, want to pay him this much money, make him wear the cap. I don't care. It's reckless, and it concerns me for
after that collision with Damar Hamlin last year. That didn't even look like a very heavy collision, and he still went into like, it wasn't like a super hard impact, and he still was like out.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen on any given play, obviously, but
yeah,
it's just highly concerning. Okay, let's get to your second and final team, or your final team and your second good team.
It wouldn't be a podcast about cat teams if we didn't talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the future winners of the AFC South, and
That's not the team you told me earlier, I will say.
It is.
Is it? I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
sent you Jags and Falcons.
I thought you said a different team. Hang on.
Wait, who did you think I said?
Let me look. Because this was like when we were making the logo. Go ahead and talk about him now. Because if
Yeah,
that's who you're talking about him.
yeah. So
Oh, it
obviously,
is.
obviously, getting rid of Trent Baalke already makes me very, very happy. Um, Getting rid of Doug Peterson, all the Nielsen, Press Taylor, get them out of here. Reports are out, like reports from pretty much everywhere. It was like these guys were so arrogant and cocky, and it was undeserved, and like nobody liked them because no one wanted to go to Jacksonville because Trent Baalke is arrogant. Players didn't like playing in the system because Doug Peterson is arrogant and Ryan Nielsen is arrogant and Press Taylor sucks ass at being an offensive coordinator. There was so much that went into that team's pitiful performance last year, and I just think it was literally like it's I know it's a conspiracy, but I genuinely think that they put a horrible on-field product on just to get those guys out. I genuinely believe that because there's been like you look at Andre Cisco, what he said was like there was a lot of quit. Like yeah, there is because the defensive coordinator is not good for like is not helping you
I'd
guys
quit.
out at all.
I'd quit. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Play
if
for
I
Trent
was
Baalke and Doug Peterson.
I just man, it was a shit show and this has been like an ongoing issue for this team as well because like they chased Jalen Ramsey out of Jacksonville. Tom Coughlin did. Doug Marone did.
Mhm.
Like then they were like, no, let's get rid of these guys. Trent Baalke, now that's a GM. Like, oh no.
And it almost cost y'all your who the why can I not remember his name right now? I'm stupid. Duval.
Liam Cohen.
Liam Cohen. Why did I not remember his name?
Yeah.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah, it almost cost Liam.
It almost cost you Liam Cohen.
I'm
That
honestly so glad they brought in Liam Cohen. I can talk more about this team, but Cohen was involved in Baker Mayfield's career resurgence. Grant Udinsky was involved in Sam Darnold's career resurgence. They're now offensive coordinator. I haven't checked who their quarterbacks coach is, but I'm gonna trust these guys with the quarterbacks coach.
yeah.
So like they've just added guys that have helped like other teams. They've helped rebuild that position. Like you look at Anthony Campanile, their defensive coordinator, was a linebacker coach from Green Bay. Green Bay has some damn good linebackers right now. Like he was part of Green Bay, the defense going from an Andrew Berry shit show to an actual NFL defense. Like this is some of the best free. This is like some of the best front office building that I've seen from this team since like the first Tom Coughlin stint. Like it's pretty. I really like where they're going with it.
I like what James Gladstone has done with the draft.
James Gladstone's a demon.
The trade for Travis Hunter, I want you to hear me out when I say this. It was worth it. It was 100% worth it. Like, no doubt in my mind it was worth what y'all paid for it.
No, I agree. I completely agree.
It was steep. It was steep. It was steep, like, regardless of...
No, I'm not arguing it wasn't steep. I mean, you gave up next year's first and second.
Yeah. No, actually, we won't respect Andrew Berry. Wait, no, not Andrew Berry. Wait, is that Andrew Berry? No.
Joe Barry. My bad.
Joe Barry.
Yeah, Vanilla Joe Barry.
Andrew Berry's the
Browns
moron
GM.
Paid
Deshaun Watson
paid Deshaun Watson drafted Jador Sanders, apparently. Yeah. From what I heard, it was that decided it.
Don't like him. I don't like Andrew Berry. What is it with Berry and being bad at the NFL level with like everything.
Yeah,
Not Barry
Barry-
Sanders. Barry Sanders cursed the name forever.
What about Barry McCockiner? He's not funny anymore. Anyway, um, we, yeah, we, Travis Hunter's gonna just rejuvenate this team. He seems like such a good guy.
Need I
I
talk
was-
about Need I talk about this guy?
Yeah, BTJ. BTJ is really good.
He's so fucking good. I love the
Oh.
offense. They
Eric Berry,
Yeah, they really needed to rebuild that offensive line. They needed anything after Brandon Sheriff left, and he wasn't even that good last year because he's just so old that it didn't go well. Their center
think-
situation is dire, and I'm not 100% sold on Robert Hainsey, don't get me wrong, but he's an upgrade over Luke Fortner, who is...
yeah.
If you don't know who Luke Fortner is, he was the 34th ranked center in 2023. How many
do you
teams
do
are
that?
there in the NFL?
32.
like,
I got it. I got
like
it.
shit, how are you worse than two backups? Why are you starting? Bulky. Yeah, Robert Hainsey's an upgrade. Patrick McCarry isn't like elite, but he's fine. He's serviceable.
It's a team. It's a team effort on the O line, and if
Yeah.
you have a really good guy, some
Hey.
like good guys, and like one okay guy, that's gonna be fine.
Hear me out.
Like,
Anton Harrison is a really, really good tackle. He's a top 10 tackle.
wow. Hi. Hello.
Hi. Anton Harrison's a top 10 tackle. Trust me. Trust me when I say this.
Trust you.
Yeah, not just to say that they improved on the offense. They also were like, hey, so you know that defense that we did not have a good last year? Let's upgrade depth on the D line. So we already have JHA and Trayvon Walker, who are like fan-fucking-tastic players. I love both of them dearly. I'm so glad that they're on my team. But they're next. Like, can you tell me who the Jaguars' third edge was last year? Don't look it up.
No, I cannot.
I don't remember either. I think it was like Ethan Black or something.
Oh my god, it probably was.
Yeah. So
This year you have Smoot, right?
yeah,
Smoot, you
Dewan
got
Smoot, Emmanuel Ogba, and Gardeck. So those are all like
Yeah.
three good depth pieces to have. I quite enjoy the edge depth they added. People kept saying D tackle was a need for this team when like they have Eric Armstead, and whenever they actually decided to play him inside last year, he was good. Mason Smith is a
Yeah.
good player. Devon Hamilton was coming off of like a pretty serious injury, but like when he's healthy, he's a really good nose tackle.
Mhm.
Like I think that I didn't think D tackle was a need.
I could see why people thought that, but yeah.
It was because of Brian Nielsen's scheme where he was a fucking
Yeah.
dumbass and decided to
Yeah. It was
not play
a lot.
either. He decided to play his third string D tackles for majority of the snaps, which like, what the fuck are we doing? How are you going to be arrogant and then play third stringers on like 50% of your snaps? Are we like
Yeah.
for real here? Like, come on.
You want to move on to my team, the final team?
Yeah, otherwise I'll be here all night talking about the Jags.
So I said earlier that the Raiders and one other team had
Actually,
my favorite.
there is one more addition I wanted to talk about, so sorry.
Oh god.
Jordan Lewis. So they have Tyson Campbell, who is a really good corner when he's healthy, and I think he'll finally be able to stay healthy after 2 years. Jerrion Jones, who was one of the better rookie corners last year, behind like Kamari Lassiter and Cooper DeJean. I think he was like the third best. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he was like the third best last year. And I know he got Saquon hurdled, but that's just a free
Every
play.
player has those plays, yeah. It just happened that play for him was that.
And Jordan Lewis is like a really fucking good nickel corner. So
Yeah.
they have good
Um,
linebackers. They have. We'll see. It's the same thing as the Falcons. We're gonna see a lot of nickel from this team, and I love nickel. So defense way up. I love it. Okay, we can talk
um,
about your final team now. I just wanted to talk about the secondary as well.
so I teased earlier that I had two teams I loved in the draft this year. It was the Raiders and one other team. That team for me was the New England Patriots. I think that their draft was so good that I did not flinch when they drafted a long snapper in the seventh round.
Same, same. I remember being there. We were like, yes, a long snapper.
It
Yes.
worked out so well for me like for them that I was just not opposed to that at all to the point.
This
Yeah,
this honestly
like
felt like a 2017 Saints draft class where like this is how
yeah.
you rebuild a team in 1 year. Like it's fucking
So
insane.
so Will Campbell, I'm gonna be honest. I know all the arm length things. Don't give a fuck.
For
Don't
me,
give a fuck. He
for me about
dominated
Will
against
Campbell,
FSU opponents,
for my
and he
for Will Campbell for me, the arm length was never an issue on my end. For me, it was play strength. I think
yeah
that he lacks a lot of play strength, but he is such a smart football guy. There wasn't pretty much any offensive lineman I can think of that's been drafted in the past few years, like minus like Penei Sewell. By the way, this is like going way back to the start. The Bengals should have taken Penei Sewell over
yeah they
Jamar
should take
Chase.
yeah. Sewell,
Sue me, but Sewell, my bad. Oopsies.
yeah, it's fine.
Um.
Uh,
Anyways,
just be happy forever. Oh well.
Will Campbell was was
Will
probably
Campbell,
my second favorite tackle in this draft behind Kelvin Banks. And
yeah,
Kelvin Banks
he
went
would have
at
been
pick
third
9.
if he would have been third if
Josh Simmons was healthy.
Josh Simmons was healthy. Yeah, Josh Simmons is so good.
Josh Simmons is seeing practice reps, by the
Yeah,
way.
I
So
saw that.
he's gonna be playing day
I'm
one. I
so
called
scared,
it. I called it.
honestly.
I said
If he
I
was,
think Josh Simmons is
he
gonna be
would have been
healthy.
this pick. He would have been this pick if he was healthy.
Yeah.
But Will Campbell's so like
But
football.
he's a
He's
leader
such
on
a
the
good
offensive line.
presence.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
he's such a good presence on this line that I'm not worried in the
Yeah, like
slightest.
maybe he's not gonna be like elite, but he doesn't need to be like elite if he's elevating the rest of the team. Like if you look at
Mhm.
some of his plays, like he would change like the protection scheme on some plays to when he read the defensive line and was like, oh, these guys are gonna do a stunt here. Let's adjust for the stunt. Stunt happens, gets shut down. Like
Yeah.
he's the reason a lot of these LSU linemen were all talked positively about. Miles Frazier was like someone I liked a lot. Like
Mm.
I know that their upcoming center is also somebody I like a lot. So I'm blanking
Yeah.
on his name right now, but
So Morgan Moses at right tackle, he will be fine for them.
yeah, he's
Hopefully they can
serviceable.
get for the future. Yeah, but he will be fine for them.
Yeah,
Second round, they got Travion Henderson.
I love
Uh,
love 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 the
love
Travion
that.
Henderson
Love
pick.
that.
Not only does he give them a run game,
He gives them a run game, gives them a way to pass out of the backfield, and
a way to pass out of the backfield, a way to run short routes too.
yes, yes,
And he's the best pass protecting running back in this class.
yes. He's just
Like
good all around. Like
this is like the
there's
player
areas where he
that
excels. He doesn't excel in areas as much as like Genty or Hampton did, but he's so well rounded that and like is really good in some areas to the point where it's like if he was taken in the first round, I wouldn't have blinked.
we were talking earlier about the Bears taking him at 10. Like
Yeah,
Henderson is that guy.
it would have been looked at weird, but it would have worked well for them. Like there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Um, Third round pick. I think this was your main guy.
My
in the
second my
entire
guy.
draft
My main my
Your
guy was
second,
R.J. Harvey, but
yeah, your second my guy was Kyle Williams out of Washington State,
yeah,
who I think is going to start. I would think he would
yeah,
beat Demario for slot
he's
for the slot.
absolutely starting. I think he's going to be their boundary guy. I think he's going
Yeah.
to start at the Z spot for them.
Oh
Right
yeah,
now,
he was. Yeah,
Stephon
yeah,
Diggs is their clear X. Kyle Williams is their clear Z. Not we talk about them adding Stephon Diggs, who's like in the
yeah.
Brandon
Stephon
Cooks
Diggs.
part of his
I
career
mean, there's
now.
a situation with him, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, who cares? It's off the. Like, if he's not, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say they the they do have two running backs named Travion on their team now because they have Travion Williams, yeah. Um, Jared Wilson at center. Yes, that's
He
good.
is a very raw center prospect. He was all athleticism, so he does
Yeah,
need to
but
develop like his blocking skills. Um,
that's still like a good pick that is going to help
yeah,
you for the future, and I think
like
that's
he's
good.
still an upgrade over
Yes,
insert
yes,
center name here. That like
yes. Um, Josh Farmer and Josh Farmer and Craig Woodson in the fourth round.
yeah, I like both of those picks too.
Those are good
I
picks.
love
Yep.
Josh Farmer.
Yep.
Who? Oh, dude, what was the D tackle they added?
Uh, Josh Farmer.
No. The other, they got one from free agency. Why am I blanking?
Milton Williams. Yeah.
I like Milton Williams
They
too.
stole it from us. They stole it from us, but whatever.
They also
Still
so I like Milton Williams and I like Josh Farmer. I think that's a like yeah, the upgrade to that. Brandon Swinson in the fifth.
And, right now, I'm looking at our lads. He's listed as the backup nickel behind Marcus Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Craig Woodson, he's good. Might start
I
eventually.
mean, they still have Christian Gonzalez on their roster. Like,
Yeah, they still have Christian Gonzalez.
they should
They
be
have a good
thanking
sec-
Washington for
they should
that
be-
one.
they have Carlton Davis, funnily enough. But, Braden Swinson was a steal.
I don't know why he fell so much.
Yeah, I don't know why he fell so much. That kind of concerns me, but I'm hoping I'm right and that he's still good.
Yeah.
Uh, Andy Borregales.
They just
out of,
added the best FBS kicker, you know.
Yeah,
That usually works out
yeah.
for teams.
If you need a kicker, draft him. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, that's good. And then they got Julian Ashby at long snapper, which is funny. So it's
I
fine.
love long snappers. Give me all the
Yeah.
long snappers.
And Kobe Minor because they wanted to say minor for a joke.
Yeah.
My criticism, or okay, one more thing I want to hit on. I like Robert Spillane in this offense or defense. Sorry, I
Yeah,
don't know why.
same.
It would have been funny if he was on offense. My one criticism is Harold Landry. I think they paid him too much money, and he's not what he was when he was first coached by Vrabel in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't
Speaking
know
of
if
Vrabel,
Vrabel was gone, but it just looked not good, and I don't think it's going to be good enough to where. Yeah.
But I mean, speaking of Vrabel, they got rid of Gerard Mayo, added in Mike Vrabel. Like,
Josh McDaniels is their offensive coordinator.
But this is Patriots Josh McDaniels.
This is Patriots coordinator Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
So you're hoping it's better.
This isn't Bill Belichick coordinator Josh McDaniels.
This isn't him in Denver, Vegas, or Oakland, or wherever the fuck he started. I don't remember if he was in Oakland.
I think it was Oakland is where his first stint was, I think.
He was most recently head coach at for the Raiders. I just didn't remember if they were actually in Oakland when he was ever head coach. But yeah, I just really like this Patriots team, and I think they could have a genuine chance at a wild card spot.
Yeah, I mean, also right now the AFC East, like minus the Bills, isn't looking very good. You have like Jets who are rolling out Justin Fields. We
Yeah,
just talked
Justin
about the
Fields.
Dolphins in like the bad segment here. So
Yeah.
I think they could probably get 4 wins in just the East alone. They're coming off of a fourth. They're coming into a fourth place schedule, and like if they can somehow get 5 wins plus like 4 divisional wins, which isn't like the most feasible thing, but like I could realistically see this being a 9-win team coming off of a very, very, very good draft.
I think their ceiling is 10 wins.
Yeah.
But that's still so good for them. Like, you would not complain at all if you're a Patriots fan.
Not at all.
I mean, obviously you have high standards because you're a Patriots fan, but you wouldn't complain nowadays about that.
Yeah.
And Drake May, I didn't touch on Drake May, but I think he's going to develop really well. I think he'll look better under this offense. If he doesn't, fuck me, I guess. But yeah, I just think he'll look better next year.
I mean, I do like Drake May.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I think that should be every team. Pretty awesome takes, pretty good analysis, I would say, on some.
Yeah,
some
I think
teams.
we're the best ever, and we should be commentating the Super Bowl.
True. We have future NFC South winner Atlanta Falcons, future AFC South winner Jacksonville Jaguars, future 7th seed New England Patriots, future 16th overall pick Las Vegas Raiders.
At least do 18th. At least do 18th. So I don't look that stupid. Like, did the first team out, okay?
First team. I'm going to give them another year before I say they're going to be a sleeper team for me. I do like them, though.
Yeah,
I think they were one of the more improved teams.
Yeah. Okay.
And then also future AFC North.
Fourth place again. No,
tied for 4th place with the Browns.
No, future offseason winner for 2026, Chicago Bears.
How many off seasons are they going to win, and how many regular seasons are they going to lose?
Okay. Well,
all right. I think that should conclude everything we wanted to talk about today. If anyone has any suggestions about maybe some topics you'd want to see talked about in the future, just shoot me a DM on Twitter, just at Chalk and Claws. We will take suggestions, or I will throw a dart at a board, and then we'll talk about Jackson Dart, because I'm inspired by the dart.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Peace out, you guys.
Thank you all for stopping in.
Have a great week. Yeah. Peace.
Oh, my thing is in. Stop stream. Don't cover up my yes button. I have to leave the call to cover up the